All right, Creative Women MiniCon is coming up October 21st. Mark your calendars. It's the 5th annual event, and you're here to meet Megan Risk, a newcomer to the event. Megan, welcome to Empire's Comics, and welcome to Creative Women MiniCon. As I said, this is our 5th year running. We have been getting bigger, and more attention has been brought to it every year. And one of the things we're constantly looking for is new people to help promote, new people to bring in to take advantage of this event. And did you find us or did I find you? I don't remember. It's been a long year already.
It has been a really long year. You were recommended to me. One of my friends said, hey, this is a really good opportunity to show your things and to support other creative women. And so here I am.
That's awesome. Was it Jen?
Yeah, it was Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Adam. Thank you for sending her this way. And this is not your first event like this. You have actually been doing stuff like this.
I have been. At the beginning of this year, I started my adventure in conventions, and it's been, I honestly lost track of how many conventions I've done.
If you're looking for a convention, you can find one almost every week.
There are so many, big and small, and especially in California, there are so many conventions out this way. It's a great spot to really get into this business and to show your stuff.
So what was the first convention you did?
Monster Palooza in April.
And you guys will see that it is very much reflected in her art style why she started with Monster Palooza. So then okay, you'd obviously been doing artwork before that.
Yes.
What was it that made you say, hey, I want to take this, was it a hobby at that point? And turn it into something?
No, I actually started out for a few years before this year. I was a traditional not concept artist, but a portrait artist. So I did portraits of people, of pets, and that was how I made my money. But it wasn't exactly, I loved doing it, but it wasn't enough really, and I was always trying to push myself, and I'm a huge nerd. A big nerd. So I really wanted to do concept work specifically for video games and environmental art. So
did you apply for video game companies?
No, not yet.
Not yet. It's coming. It's coming. We'll see some of that later.
I'm doing a little bit of work for actually a Sacramento-based gaming studio.
Is it one of the app designers downtown?
It's a Nascent Games.
Oh, nice.
I think
cool.
I spoke with him this weekend, and he said he knew you. So.
Okay, well, that's awesome. So you'll see stuff coming from this stuff in the game format. But before that, you decided to turn it into...
Yeah, I figured this would be a really great way to start making my way and start getting my name out and showing my work and using this as kind of a portfolio.
That's what I was going to say. By doing conventions like this, you can't keep going to the conventions with the same stuff. It forces you to create more and to have new product.
Yes.
Which, as you guys can see, we picked this piece here because I thought it was fantastic. It's disturbing. It's absolutely creepy. So why don't you tell us about this before I show them some of the other pieces?
Oh boy. Well, I actually, when I was in high school, I did a study. One of the projects was a study on Wes Benscoter's Geisha Phobic.
Okay. And
Wes Benscoter is a horror artist. And we had, in high school, you have those books that you can look through that are for inspiration, and his Geisha Phobic was in one of those books, so I did a study on it, and then it's just stuck with me since then, 15 years later.
I'm gonna have to look this up. What is it?
It's this beautiful and creepy and crazy looking geisha holding a teacup with crazy hands, just like my little tribute there. So this was kind of my tribute to Wes Benscoter's Geisha Phobic, which really was inspiring to me as a horror fan, like forever horror fan, and an artist back in high school.
Yeah, because it's extremely disturbing. And you guys will see she is a horror fan because there's a lot of it in here. And you said you liked video games. Have you ever played Fatal Frame?
Yes!
Okay, Fatal Frame 2 is one of the scariest things I have ever experienced in my life.
Silent Hill, Fatal Frame, the first fear, the second fear, not the third fear.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm a huge horror video games, horror movies, horror TV shows.
I love horror video games. We'll have to talk after this because I don't want to take that up. But let's show some of the stuff here. Why don't you tell us what some of these are?
Okay, well this is Anthony Perkins, and it's from Psycho, of course. The original Psycho, yes, Norman Bates. I will be doing a Norman Bateman at some point. Or Patrick Bateman, excuse me. I'll be doing a Patrick Bateman from American Psycho soon to go along with Norman Bates.
You can put one on each side of
Yeah.
your pencil.
I have a good idea for that one.
Now, well, before we go into this real quick,
Okay.
you do traditionally watercolor
Yes.
has
and
been
ink.
your predominant
Yes.
choice. But lately, you've begun to do some digital.
Yes.
And what's neat about some of the digital stuff that I've seen here is you'll see this, which looks beautiful, but one of the fun things you can do with digital is you get options. You get choices of how you want to put, which print do you want to get, where do you want to put it up. So, I mean, that's kind of fun. What drove you to the digital side of things?
Oh, man. Well, I knew that in order to do concept art and work in gaming and electronic type entertainment, it's really a good idea to start learning digital. It opens up a lot of opportunities, and it makes it much easier to show your work, and you could do a lot of really cool things in digital that you just can't do traditionally, or there's a lot harder to do traditionally. And I actually found a way to incorporate a lot of the digital elements and the things that I learned in digital.
That's interesting, actually.
With my prints, and I sadly don't have any of those here. The two prints I brought are totally traditional.
That's all right. They'll be here on
Yes.
October 21st,
Yeah,
Creative Women Minicon. I'm only going to show you a couple here real quick, guys, because... we're not even going to show that. As you can see, I mean, the horror influence is clearly there. The only thing, I understand that a lot of people are going traditional or digital.
Yeah.
The only thing that really saddens me is there's nothing like this.
Yeah,
when you come out of it.
And I definitely will not be giving up the traditional stuff. I have an intense love for traditional and specifically watercolor, which has developed this year, my obsession with watercolor. I love traditional work. I think that you can't beat texture when it comes to traditional. It's great. I love it.
So you'll be a master of both of them. And more
boy.
Hitchcock here. We got birds. You guys will have to come down and see it on October 21st. I've shown you plenty. And the original of the one we have behind us, guys. It will be here. So what will you have for us? You'll have originals. You'll have prints.
Yes.
And will you have prints of all of the originals or just certain ones?
All of the originals.
Okay.
I have done some collaborations with... at the moment, just one artist I've done a collaboration with, so I might have the original and the prints of those. I'm not sure. Those prints are numbered, so they are limited.
That's perfect. I love when people do that because, I mean, A, it's exciting. You have one of whatever, and B, if you don't get it, it's gonna be gone. So it's one of those things where it always makes me grab it up immediately if it's something that I like. Usually when there's a puck on it. So where can they find you online?
I am at Megan E. Risk on Facebook, so you can just plug in Megan E. Risk. I've made it really easy to find me everywhere. It's just basically Megan E. Risk for everything. Instagram, Patreon. I'm posting I have the uncensored version available to view on my Patreon of this collaboration that I did, and it is a little bit adult, so I have some fun sometimes with adult things. But mostly it's very safe for work. But this one is not. So if you're into that and you just want to check it out, then Patreon is a good place to look for that.
I assume Twitter, Instagram.
Twitter is Meg E. Risk.
Oh, somebody took Megan E. Risk.
Yeah.
Let's find them. Everybody flood them right this moment. Tell them you hate them.
Yeah, but
no, don't do that. Please don't do that.
For Patreon, Megan E. Risk. Facebook, Megan E. Risk. Instagram, Megan E. Risk. I even have meganerisk.com, so got that one.
That's all there, guys. Go check out the pages. Go add her to all of those, all of yours, obviously. And then come down October 21st, where we're going to have a number of great women down here with everything from art to writing. You guys know the drill. There's crafts, just so much. Photography. Come down October 21st. Don't miss it. It's a great day. 5th annual. We'll see you guys